Hello, everyone. This is Tan from Artemis Oracle doing your reading for the week ahead. I hope your weekend has been going well for you so far. My weekend has been pretty good, I would say. I did a really nice reading yesterday. It was about reconciliation. I used charms, I used zodiac cards. I'm using my new mic just to see if that helps minimize any background noises. Um, so, if the audio sounds fine, please let me know in the comment section. Let's see what messages you need to know for the week ahead. Today is the 17th of August, so the Sunday. So this reading is for the week ahead, and it could be the week ahead whenever you happen to come across this reading, because time is fluid. Sometimes we go through things. Maybe whatever comes up may have been something that you experienced in the past, or it may be coming up. So everybody's situation is different. It's funny how life is. Sometimes we go through the same experiences. I mean, as humans, each of us, we go through the same experiences. It's just, it happens during different phases of our lives. So please take the messages as they resonate. So what message do you need to know? Okay, we got SOS, distress, act with urgency, assistance needed. Okay, let's see what else comes out with that. Well, those two cards came. I want to look at them. I'm going to put them back. Swept up and knocked up. Okay, let's see if they come out. Swept up and knocked up. I think a reading I did a couple days ago, somebody may be pregnant around you. Uh, or some of you may get caught up with somebody, get swept up, and may end up pregnant. So I would say if that's you, if you can get somebody pregnant or you can get pregnant, please take precaution if that's something you're not interested in doing. Okay, so SOS. SOS. What is this SOS? So somebody may be going through a stressful situation, and they may be needing your assistance. It could be you that's in need of assistance this week, doing the research, learning more, gaining insight. So, sometimes when you have an issue that you need to take care of and you're not exactly sure how to go about it, you may be doing some sort of research this week, trying to gain some clarity, more insight, understanding, doing the research. Maybe doing that to help somebody, to provide them with information or resources that they may need. Okay, let's see. Reading up. Somebody could be doing research on you too, getting information about you. Paranoid. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Some of you, the first thing that came up, the first thing I thought about is like some of you may be feeling like somebody is watching you, trying to gain some information about you. This says cautious, insecure, and guarded. Or some of you may be keeping your guard up against somebody that you feel like may be causing you distress, or someone may be reaching out to you for help because they do need your assistance. Maybe they feel like they're being stalked, that someone is looking into them. And maybe somebody from their past or your past that may be doing this. It's no closure, cowardice, and disappearing act. So it could be somebody that disappeared that may be watching you. You may be sensing it this week because you may be feeling a sense of paranoia, or just like, doesn't have to be to that extreme. It could just, you're just keeping your guard up against somebody. Um, Somebody that you're no longer in contact with, or it could just be someone who ghosted you, and then you may be looking into what's going on with them just to see, um, like, since you haven't heard from them, if I take it as a resonates, it could be the other way around. It could be somebody that ghosted you, um, or you ghosted, that may be looking into you, trying to get some information, um, maybe peeking at you, because you see how this person is peeking through the cracks. Yeah. But worst case scenario is some of you may be like somebody's like actually stalking you. someone that you don't know, that you're not aware of, but you may be getting some sort something like maybe you're seeing weird things going on, and it's becoming more apparent to you with gaining insight or learning more. This is very strange energy for this week. So I would just say be careful, be cautious. Um, it could be you, or it could just be somebody around you that is in this energy, or maybe going through this. I don't like when I do things like that. At least I'm not like inciting fear in any way. Hopefully, at least with the way I'm speaking, that's not my intention at all. Spiritually woke, self-awareness, cutting through illusions, detaching from ego. Let's see. If this is you, some of you may be, because the other thing I was going to say was hypochondriac, and that's someone who's constantly worried about being sick, being ill, um, or they learned about something and then they're questioning if they're going through that situation themselves. So maybe some of you are dealing with your own past issues, and that's what's bringing you clarity. Maybe that you've been seeing the signs, and it doesn't necessarily have to be paranoid, but I think it's because you're becoming aware. You're being aware of certain things that you need to address within your own life. There may be past issues like skeletons in your closet, like things that you haven't been resolved and that need closure, because ghost says no closure. So you maybe are becoming awakened to certain things that you need to address in your own personal life, or it could be just someone around you. Okay. And you're detaching from ego. You may be detaching from your ego. You're probably looking at things from a different perspective, and taking the lessons, learning the lessons, and applying them as they need to be applied so that you can move forward. Revealing secrets, cats out of the bag, untrustworthy. Maybe some of you have trust issues from the past that have been interfering with certain parts of your life. It could be with relationships. And relationships could be with your coworkers. It could be with your boss. It could be with friends, family, a partner. Take it how it resonates, you know. And that probably is because we have the rebound card. So some of you may have gotten involved in like a rebound relationship, or it could just be because it says flighty, temporary option, unpredictable intentions. But the thing that really stood out to me was flighty. You know, sometimes when you're not exactly sure if you could trust someone or even trust yourself, it's difficult for you to it may be difficult for you to commit to anything, you know, because you don't want to get stuck in a situation that you change your mind about, you know. So you may be flighty, you may be somebody who may be a bit flaky in some ways. So that could be something that you're awakening to and that you need to address. Maybe that's where the self-awareness, the SOS is like, well, this is something you're seeing the signs, you need to address it because you're seeing how it can impact different parts of your life. So that's what's going on with what's the gossip. With what's the news that may be coming up this week. Let me see what else we get. Going into the Life Happens deck. Some of you may be dealing with a Gemini or have Gemini in your chart. I saw the two-face card, but you know, Gemini is two sides. Um, okay. That's that 912. Well, let's see. Life Happens for the week ahead. Healer. Okay, it's funny because the SOS card, that's like helping somebody, being of assistance to someone. Oh, spiritually woke, we got the Awakening card. And then we also have the Truth card coming out. Some of you may be realizing that you have healing abilities, that you may be someone who can help people heal. Um, or some of you may be awakening to the fact that there is some healing that you need to do. And that could be your own personal truth. But it could also be someone around you. It's this week, it seems to be about truths. being awakened, no longer having your eyes closed, seeing things, being focused. Not so much focused, but being aware is what I mean to say. Maybe some of you have been focusing on things that really don't matter, and that has been taking away your attention away from what really does. So some of you may be distracting yourself with vices, with some people like to romanticize being a victim. You know, I don't know. I felt like I had to say that. That's something I've been thinking about lately. Is like I feel like some people like to romanticize being the victim. Like everybody's against them, and really, you're against yourself. Because if you're worried about what the fuck other people are thinking and what other people are doing, then you're allowing them to win. You're making yourself a victim. Unless you're actually like a victim. You know what I mean? But I'm talking about like people who let their past dictate their present moment. They're stuck in the past. They're romanticizing the past. But when you're stuck in the past, you can't like really appreciate the moment for 11:11 as we speak. You can't really appreciate the moment for what it is because you're in another area. You're like your mind is in a different timeline while your physical body is in the present. I feel like I had to say that. It's something that's been on my mind for the past week or so. Okay, so I feel like yeah, that's the news, and then we have the life happens. But what is this truth? Tell us about the truth. What truth? Inner strength. I think some of you have forgotten how strong you truly are. You're allowing your past pains, even the way that you've been treated in the past, and how people have spoken about you, how people have thought about you, even how you've thought about yourself, get in the way of you seeing what your truth is. That you're really a strong person. That you've gone through a lot of obstacles, adversity, and you've overcome it. But I think you're now awakening to the fact that it's time to heal from the past and see yourself for who you truly are. You're someone who is a strong person. Rebound. Rebound means it's like you are someone who is resilient. Because we could take it for what the card says, but rebound has other meanings too. You're someone that could bounce back from things. Yeah, it's like you can, it's like you could go experience a situation, and then it could get you down, but then it's like you find a way to bounce back. You don't let yourself stay down. Or maybe this is what the reading is saying, that if you do find yourself in this situation where I mentioned some people romanticize being a victim, romanticize the past, and not be in this present moment, and are so stuck in their mind, or the limiting thoughts, that you need to rebound from that. You need to move away from that and change your mindset. Recognize the strength that you have within, that has always been with you. I think people need to remember too that, remember, our ancestors are a part of us. The fact that we are at this moment right now, we exist, I'm speaking to you right now, is a testimony to how strong my ancestors are. And my ancestors have gone through a lot of things. Humans throughout history have gone through a lot of things. But to see where I am right now, and that I come from strength, is empowering, you know? And that's something that you and everybody else should remember. Anybody who's come from peoples who have been mistreated, where genocide or war, racism, segregation, xenophobia, all that, everything that's existed throughout history, where people were targeted, and then you coming from that is a testimony to how strong you are, because your ancestors are a part of you, and their strength is your strength. And I think that's something that you need to recognize too. Like, especially as me, I'm going to use myself as an example. Like Puerto Ricans, um, you know about Columbus. We know about how Spain came in, and then we also know how the U.S. has taken over Puerto Rico. But the indigenous peoples of Puerto Rico, or Taino people, are Taino people, and they still exist. So I feel like people should appreciate their heritage, their ancestry, because within that you find your own strength, you know? Let's see. Let's get some advice cards. Speak up. This is the bottom of the deck. What are you not saying that's eating you up inside? You can't keep this in forever. It's time to let it out so you can move on and be happy. Yes. You know, if there's something that you've been holding back that you've been wanting to say, it's time for you to like speak it, you know, allow yourself to purge whatever it is that you need to say, because the longer you keep it in, the longer you're going to be in turmoil, the longer you're going to be feeling excuse me, resentment or bitterness towards whatever it is that you feel the need to speak up against or speak up for. Okay. Any other advice? Any other advice? Okay, we got two cards and then I'm going to end the reading. Focus. You're being asked to shift your focus away from what isn't working towards what is. Paying extra attention to where you place your focus is the first step toward creating an amazing life. Okay. And receive. You're being asked to be open to receiving gifts. These could come in the form of love, money, compliments, healing energy, and universal wisdom. Know that you're worthy of these gifts and open up to them. I feel like as long as you keep focusing on what doesn't work for you, you keep focusing on the negative, you keep focusing on the past, you keep romanticizing it, you're not going to be able to see clearly what blessings are in front of you and be able to receive them. You know, so I feel like that's the message. And check in when you think about whatever it is that you're pondering. Take a moment to check in with how you feel about it. Do you feel lighter or heavier, excited or filled with dread? Pay attention to your inner guidance. It's always so helpful. If looking back, like I keep saying, romanticizing the past. If you keep romanticizing your pain, your burdens, your past, you know, think about how it's making you feel. Is it making you feel better or worse? If it's worse, then it's something that you need to change. It's something that you need to shift your focus from, you know? Because if you're, like I said, you're stuck in the past, you're not able to see the present moment, you're not able to see the present blessings, and you're not able to receive them. Okay, so I hope this reading was helpful in some way. If it was, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. If you're interested in a reading, please check the link in the description box or comment section. I'm wishing you a wonderful week ahead and sending you lots of love and light. Bye.